I want to begin to present the winners of our Books for Adults category with a very talented young man, award-winning former colleague of mine at Channel 2, CBS here in New York. Tony Aiello joined WCBS. Give him a hand. Tony joined CBS 2 in 2002, spent 8 years covering news in the northern suburbs of New York. He's now based at the Broadcast Center. I love that place on 57th Street. I can't believe how they built that whole area up. I mean, when I was there years ago, it was just like it was a barn. It was a cow stable, right? It was unbelievable, but it's beautiful. But in addition, more seriously, Tony devotes much of his time to community groups and charities like the Food Bank for Westchester, among other things. He was also the recipient of the Voice of the Arts Award for the group Arts Westchester last year for his commitment to making sure that the arts are accessible to everybody. I am pleased and honored to welcome my dear friend from CBS, Tony Aiello, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ernie. It's always nice to be introduced by a legend. It strikes me, Ernie, back in the day when you were at Channel 2 and I was there, you were on the anchor desk, I was out in the field, you'd introduce me, I'd be standing in a snowbank, freezing my rear end off, telling you that it was absolutely necessary that you not come outside. Because you wouldn't know not to come outside unless I was standing outside. So you're welcome. I know how much you appreciate that little bit of. You're welcome. Thank you. It is truly an honor to be here at the Christophers for my 4th year in a row. To be with people who create content that illuminates the human condition and uplifts the human spirit is really, really a charge of energy for a guy who creates content for local news every day. I applaud the work that you do. It really makes a difference in the world. All of you have done something that has touched the lives of someone with the work that you create, and it's important that we celebrate it, and it's fantastic to be here to do that. Since spending time here at the Christophers, I've really tried to take away from much of the content that we've seen and celebrated here what seems to me to be a central message that we hear, a theme that we see repeated in so much of the work that you create. And I've started to share this with my wife, Liz, who's here representing Sirius XM, and my kids as well. And that theme that I see repeated is, count your blessings, don't nurse your grievances. And I tell my kids this all the time. I try to get them to live it. I try to live it. You write, produce, create around that theme, and it's so important that we celebrate it. And let's get that started by announcing the winners of our Books for Adults. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Our first winner tonight, Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved by Kate Bowler, published by Random House. At age 35, Kate Bowler had it all: a loving husband, a newborn son, and a great job as a professor at Duke Divinity School. Then she was diagnosed with incurable stage 4 colon cancer. The news challenged Kate's spiritual beliefs and the idea that she could control her life through sheer determination and faith. In this honest and surprisingly funny memoir, Kate explores how she found God in life's brokenness and in the power of community. And as she continues receiving innovative treatments that have kept her alive for 4 years and counting, Kate reminds all of us to approach each day with gratitude and joy. Author Kate Bowler had a previous commitment, so accepting on her behalf is her friend and colleague from Duke Divinity School, Dr. Dan Struble. Our next award is presented to the author of Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom, David W. Blight, this book published by Simon & Schuster. Though born into slavery, Frederick Douglass learned to read as a child and saw words as his holiest possession. After his escape to the North at age 20, he became like an Old Testament prophet, exposing slavery's evils through the power of the written and the spoken word. This masterful biography, informed by newly discovered historical papers, chronicles Douglas's battles for equality, his hopes in the Civil War's aftermath, and his fears when civil rights advances began collapsing. In addition, author David W. Blight explores Douglas's personal vices and virtues, leaving us with a well-rounded look at a true champion of human liberty. He is going to have to make some room on his award shelf because after picking up his Christopher Award tonight, he'll be picking up a Pulitzer Prize next week. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom, please welcome David W. Blight. Our next award is presented to the author of One Beautiful Dream, and that's Jennifer Fulwiler, this book published by Zondervan HarperCollins. As the loving mother of 4 children, several still in diapers, did I say 4? I meant to say 5. Jennifer Fulwiler's life could be chaotic. Did I say 5? I meant to say 6. It's 6 kids. It's 6 kids. Chaotic life, but whenever she took time to write posts for her blog, she felt re-energized. Jen discovered that writing was her blue flame, the passion that ignites a fire within you when you do it. With insight and humor, Jen shares her pursuit of a writing career while dealing with burned dinners and pooping toddlers, and eventually homeschooling 6 children with her husband, Joe. Jen also learns that having it all doesn't mean doing everything yourself. As she writes, unexpected graces always come into your life when you're open to the people whom God sends your way. We're pleased to have with us author and host on the SiriusXM Catholic channel, Jennifer Fulwiler. The Strange Case of Dr. Cooney by Dawn Raffel, published by Blue Rider Press, Penguin Random House. During the early 1900s, survival rates for premature babies were very low, unless you sought out Dr. Martin Cooney and his staff. But Cooney didn't work in a hospital. He ran exhibits in Coney Island and Atlantic City sideshows featuring premature babies in incubators. Author Dawn Raffel reveals the story of the man whose unconventional efforts helped revolutionize neonatal care at a time when the eugenics movement believed that society would be stronger if its weakest members were left to die. In the end, Cooney's work saved thousands of babies who went on to lead healthy lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the author, Dawn Raffel. The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton with Lara Love Hardin, published by St. Martin's Press. When Anthony Ray Hinton was arrested on suspicion of murder in Alabama in 1985, he had an easily provable alibi which should have secured him a quick release. Instead, racism and lies corrupted the investigation and trial, leading him to be sentenced to the electric chair. Though Hinton was initially consumed with hatred, his mother's enduring lessons on faith and love led him to become a force for good for his fellow inmates. After years of appeals, attorney Brian Stevenson of the Equal Justice Initiative finally secured Hinton's release after 30 years in 2015. Anthony Ray Hinton sends his regards at not being able to attend. He's currently traveling around the country giving talks about prison reform, as well as faith and forgiveness. We accept this award on his behalf. Congratulations again to each of tonight's winning authors, and please note that all of our winning books are included in the gift bags you'll be receiving when you leave tonight. Thank you.
Isn't he terrific? Huh? Thank you, Tony. I mean, this is what we call a reporter's reporter. No, I'm serious about that. Tony is a guy who takes great pride in what he does. He respects the truth. And he is a guy who looks for original reporting. And Tony, when we see you on the air, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations once again, Tony Aiello.